Dwarves, zombies and Pokemon rip-offs, it's all going on in today's survival show, giving you a recap of everything that's been revealed or talked about since the Summer Games Fest and the Future Games show went live over the weekend. A whole ton of survival games have been either announced or more glimpses into what's happening. So today we're going to be talking about the Axis Unseen, 7 Days to Die and its 1.0 release, brand new games, Stormforge, as well as No More Room in Hell 2, Palworld's next big update, new survival extraction game, Canyons, Once Humans full release date, Hyperlight Breaker, and Skye, the Misty Isles, breathedge 2, First Dwarf, and what's happening with State of Decay 3. If you find any of this useful, make sure you leave a like, and do click that notification bell to receive the first and best survival games news. Let's go. So June 27th is when Palworld's next big update launches. A brand new island to explore, whole new pals, a whole revamp of the building system, new PvP arena mode, new raids, new NPC areas that you'll have to go and conquer, and pretty much just everything you would expect with a chunky update like this. It has been in a while. Obviously Palworld launched in January. We've had a few fixes and a few additions, but nothing as big as this. This is the big one of the summer and no doubt maybe for the rest of the year. So some creators have got access to this a little bit early, or will do, and that includes me, and I'll be covering this majorly on my second channel, JPG Crafted, so make sure you go and subscribe right now and catch up on all the Palworld content I've already done. But it looks good. I'm hoping that the build system has really actually had a lot more plus points added to it, and for sure new creatures and the new places that we'll be trying to conquer look good. And I'm really interested in how PvP is going to work. Basically battle arenas that you'll take your pals, go and fight it out, and hopefully gain some rewards, or at least kudos. Sakajima Island, I think the update is called, or that's where we're going to be exploring. Brand new boss and new characters as well, so yeah, could be good. Once Human fully launches on July the 9th. After a series of really closed betas, they've got an actually open one taking part in this next week's Steam Festival beginning tomorrow the 10th. And everyone's going to get a chance to play this huge ambitious MMO set across mobile and PC devices. I've been waiting for the right time to jump in and take a look, and I probably again will be doing it, plug, on my third channel, JPG Ascended, where I show a bit more PvP and maybe more games like this. But yes, it's a post-apocalyptic game set in a bit of a mysterious world with all sorts of weird, outlandish creatures, base building, you playing with your friends, going on raids, and some PvP action too. It's been gaining huge amount of traction over the last year with its various playtests and more, so I'm expecting this to do big numbers when it launches on July the 9th. The Axis Unseen is a monster hunting game made by one of the main developers behind games like Skyrim, Fallout, and Starfield. He's gone solo now and been working on it a number of years, a hugely ambitious open world where the main part of the game is to hunt down mysterious mythic creatures with your bow and arrow. With a mix of elemental arrows and maybe more, you'll be conquering the land, going into diverse biomes and trying to take on these mythic creatures. Alongside the gameplay, there's going to be a pretty hefty focus on heavy metal music, so the Axis Unseen has got announced release window at least now of October later on this year. I got an email talking about this game, Stormforge, and then the trailer popped up, and it's looking okay. It might be a way away yet. I don't think it's going to be releasing until next year, but it looks like a cross between Tribes of Midgard, but in actual 3D. A lot of people like that game, but didn't like the top-down perspective. Well, how about this, with the same or similar kind of art style, but obviously not set in maybe just a Norse or Viking world. The usual stuff, base building, hunting creatures, looting, and being able to explore different diverse biomes, all in a pretty different kind of art style. I like the look of this. No exact release date just yet. Hopefully going to be some playtests happening in the near future, so you might want to check out their Steam page or their actual website and see if you can sign up and take part for the Stormforge near time betas. A game from 2011 is getting a sequel, No More Room in Hell. Simply called No More Room in Hell 2, it is going to have you and up to 7 other players, so 8 total, try and survive again in a zombie infested world. The big difference here is that it's permadeath, so I'm guessing anything you acquire, any kind of skills you might learn or upgrades will be gone if you die. The game's promising a massively replayable map, lots of gore, lots of blood and lots of flashlights running out of batteries. This might be a bit too scary for me. I don't do well with horror games. We'll have to see how the survival elements really are, whether or not they're adding anything more than just running away from zombies, what elevates this from being just a gory or more gory Left 4 Dead. But I am interested in the permadeath mechanics. It could be interesting, so we'll have to check it out. No release date other than just 2024. I'll keep you guys in the loop. And if I do cover this, for sure it's going to be on my third channel, which is definitely meant for more gory post-apocalyptic games, alongside things like Ark and PvP. Let's brighten stuff up a little bit. Strictly not a survival game, but I like the look of it anyway. It's an open world action game. A sequel to Hyper Light Drifter, it's now Hyper Light Breaker. Again, they've gone from 2D to third person as you try and chain together combos, taking on all sorts of enemies, unlocking new abilities and exploring a wide, large map. It's got co-op, it's going to be pretty fast paced, being able to hover around, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. A little bit more colour, a little bit more action, but I like this thing for sure, and again this will be on my second channel, JPG Crafted. Hopefully the combat is approachable, hopefully it won't be too kind of, I guess, roguelike, like maybe Risk or Rain, although there's nothing wrong with that, just fancy something with a bit more permanence. No actual definitive release date other than just late summer, so only a few months away. One game I am hoping to see release date announced later today is State of Decay 3. It's already been leaked on their website and it's been rumoured for a good few weeks now that we would see some more news and probably the first glimpse since 2020 about where this game is at. Is it going to be the MMO type big survival game that it was hinted at and rumours and leaks abound in the last few years, or has it been scaled back down to something similar to what the first two games were? There's a lot of rumour and conjecture that this CGI animated trailer wasn't just dressing up and not really reflective of the game like the previous games where it was a bit more arcadey and a bit more goofy. This might actually be the direction that the next game will take. It's about time. This game's been cooking. It's had various different problems according to multiple sources, so fingers crossed we're going to see a release date. I still wouldn't expect it though to release till next year, but yeah, at least we're going to get some gameplay today. They've just updated their website, as I said, changed their logo, and they've been doing a bit more work on their socials, updating various splash pages and wallpapers. So fingers crossed it's finally coming. A game I only covered yesterday in a short news video is Canyons. This is a PvE 4-player extraction game where you'll be running around a survival world, but a few key differences. Your base is actually going to be a massive crawler, some sort of big ship that you can customize and plow through the procedurally generated worlds, as well as having the ability to take on board smaller vehicles. It is offering co-op action as well. It's made by the same people that made breathedge, which, as I spoke about yesterday, is still happening, but it does look like they're going to be working both of these games in tandem, with breathedge 2's demo coming later on this year, so probably not a release until next. And I can't imagine this game's going to release until next year either. They're probably looking for more funding from some investors, hence why they're showing off mostly CGI here. Honestly, I'm getting vibes of like Metal Gear Survivors and mixed in a little bit with something like Sea of Thieves, but in the desert. Alright, with some weird creatures and the zombies. Okay, it's nothing like Sea of Thieves, but you get the idea. You've got a ship, you'll be able to customize it and just run around this desert, try and survive, scavenge resources. It could be good. Dwarves in survival games. Who knew that this would be something that would bloom in 2024 with a slew of different games releasing in the next few months or so, on top of obviously games like Return to Modia. Well, this is First Dwarf, a new co-op survival game where you can take control of your dwarf inside a mech suit and your own little Spyro dragon as you explore some skye islands, trying to basically keep a settlement going with energy and power and fighting off mysterious creatures from another dimension. I checked this out a little while ago. I did a little let's play on my second channel and it was okay. The colour palette is a little bit too bland and I do think that some of the core gameplay loops are probably just a bit too grindy and boring. But that was only the demo, so I'm excited to see what else could be happening with the game. You do take control of this little airship to get from one land to another, and yeah, expect lots of resource gathering, as it's kind of also semi-automated. You need to keep power to your settlement and villages. You'll be able to craft different kind of buildings to help gather or refine resources. And then effectively you've got to fight off waves of these creatures from another dimension from destroying your village. This one's out really soon, in 10 days time, the 19th of June on PC, Steam, and will be coming to Xbox as well. Another plus point is it is couch co-op. You can play this together if you really want to. It will be an early access title, so hopefully the colour palette will improve, maybe add a little bit more to the core gameplay, but yeah, some parts were interesting for sure. 7 Days to Die is finally leaving early access, and they've finally got a release date where Streamer Weekend's going to take part, which I am part of, and that will be on the 21st to, I do believe, the 22nd, and then everyone gets to try the experimental branch on the 23rd of June, so only a couple of weeks to go. And then if you don't want to mess with that, you just want to play the full complete experience, it will be releasing on the 24th of July. I swear it's something like 12 or 13 years since maybe 7 Days to Die went into early access, and it's finally getting its 1.0 release, although it's not going to be the finished deal. They've got a roadmap planned where they'll be adding things like bandits and stuff afterwards, which is kind of disappointing considering how long it's been in early access, and things they've been promising would be part 1.0 have now already started to slip, given so many delays to the full release. And we still don't know any information about exactly how much the new version is going to be for PlayStation 5 and Xbox. That's right, there's no updates coming for players who already own the game. You will have to buy a completely different new version. I spoke about this at great length in previous videos, so I don't want to harp on about it right now. We still haven't been given any decent news about whether or not there's a discount being applied to owners of the original. Hopefully that's something that will happen, and it'll be pretty hefty. I've been playing 7 Days to Die with Razclark as we build and get ready for our new adventures, so maybe you'll see that very soon here. Oh, last thing to say, of course, console, they did say it would be coming at the same time as 1.0, but that was after originally saying it would be sometime after. Obviously, PCs had a bit of a delay. I think we won't see console launch until August, but we'll have to wait and see. Viking survival game Skye, the Misty Isles, is meant to be releasing in early access later on this month. Still no release date given, but they have shown off another trailer giving a glimpse into the open world that you'll be exploring. It is the Skye Isle, but also maybe set in Norway. I'm still not too clued up. I don't think anyone else is either. They probably need to do a lot more work on exactly what this game's going to have in it at launch and start showing a bit more off. So far alongside this, we've only seen a few snippets and really just not enough actual gameplay. I've championed this game for a long time. It's been a while. I know they're developed by a tiny little team, but you only get really one big chance now to launch your game. And I'm a bit concerned that we just haven't seen enough to make people actually want to check this out. I hope I'm pleasantly surprised. I hope it's a decent little survival game. It's meant to be multiplayer eventually, although it might only have single player at launch. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. So there we go, folks. That's everything you need to know so far. Although, of course, we have got the Xbox show and some other smaller ones taking place today. So I will do another recap video tomorrow. And, of course, any individual stuff that I think is important, like State of Decay 3. And yes, I did plug quite a bit some of my other content because I do have different channels, because the algorithm just doesn't like it. Even if I'm just covering nothing but survival games, a lot of you guys really aren't interested in certain types. So if you're fairly new around here, or maybe even old and didn't realise, I have 3 channels. The main channel, JPG Survival, is covering news, covering most of the big releases that come along. Things like Valheim, Nightingale, eventually when we get news about Light No Fire. My second channel, JPG Crafted, is there for more younger viewers, more chilled, PG friendly, for games like Grounded, Smallland and Palworld. It's also where you might see stuff like Hyperlight Breaker, and I'm considering seriously putting some time into Avowed on that channel too. And then my JPG Ascended channel is meant to be for just Ark, but I'm broadening because, let's face it, Ark's a bit of a crap show, so I want to add a bit more grown up, more mature survival hardcore games, so that's where you might see games like Once Human, No More Room in Hell, and you never know, I might switch over and start showing stuff like State of Decay 3 on that channel, but we'll have to see how it goes. If you're subscribed to any of them channels, thank you so much. I know it's a big ask, but it is just the way it is. If you want to keep up with all the best news, then you should absolutely go and check all 3 channels out. Or come and join my Discord and keep up to date with my uploads channel so you can cherry pick what you want to watch when you want to watch it. Thanks for letting me waffle and a little bit of promo, and I'll see you ratbags some more survival news soon.